Hi guys, today we're listening to the sounds of Drake, OVO, mixtape. Hi! Candice, why do you have sunglasses on? Because I'm a mess behind these things. I'm a mess. I can't deal with all of this right now. I've got this dodgy tan going on. None of my makeup looks correct. I look tired and homeless and broken and naked. So basically, this is why the video is going to be done like this. I know it's kind of impersonal, but just imagine I'm making eye contact and look at, yeah, cool. I would apologize for not making a video for a while, but you guys know the deal by now. If I feel like there's nothing to talk about, I don't make a video because I feel like I'll just be rambling and chatting shit. But alas, right now my booty's itching, sorry. I feel like I've got something to talk about. I read the Huffington Post. If you know what the Huffington Post is, good. And if you don't, check it out. If you're intelligent, you'll like it. And if you're not intelligent, hopefully it will make you more intelligent, you know, whatever. Anyway, I've got the app on my phone, and sometimes when I'm bored, I just go through old articles. And I came across an article by a gentleman. I can't remember his name. I can't even remember the title of the article. My phone's not here at the moment. And it was about resilience. He was going through a certain situation and he spoke to his friend, and his friend basically said, and I would kiss and marry this guy, A, if I knew who he was, and B, if he wasn't married. He simply said to him, you have all the tools required to deal with this situation. And I think that's a really important statement. And even my hair's a mess, I just can't. I think that's a really important statement because if you've been following my videos, you've seen how it's been an uphill struggle. I'm still not good with camera angles. It's been an uphill struggle to get to where I am, and now 6 months in, the race is over. And if we're talking about running as a metaphor for life, I'm at a point now where I know what I can achieve, but how far can I really go? What can I really do? I'm about to embark on more mileage, on more training. I know that I achieved that 10k without dying because I trained. Looking back, not half as much as I trained really. Don't lie, I trained relatively hard, but looking back, I think I could have. Sorry, that was rude. I could have trained harder, but you know, if hindsight were a thing, wasn't relative, then we'd know what we were doing. So now it's like, sorry to be crude, but it's the one thing almost everyone will understand. It's like having sex. When you break your virginity, one of you or even both of you don't know what you're doing. And you know, with anything, it takes practice. And I broke my racing virginity, and now I know what to expect the next time. But this is the thing. Am I going to punk myself out of my own excellence because now I'm afraid? Now I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I've got what it takes to run another 10k and then do 2 half marathons. I don't know if that's me. I just don't know. I'm going to sit these things out. And reading that article reminded me of A, how I got here, and B, how I'm going to get to the next place. It's resilience. I'm going to call this your rucksack of resilience. It's reaching into this rucksack and saying, hey, I do have the tools to deal with this situation. Because if you look at lots of things that have already happened in your life, for me, dad, another parent's health, then relationship issues, motherhood, blah blah blah, all these other factors and then non-factors. I never knew I could deal with those situations. I never knew. But hey, when I got down to the nitty gritty, I had the tools required to make that shit happen and deliver it in a way that I am still standing. And when they say what don't kill you makes you stronger, I feel like that's an understatement sometimes. If it doesn't kill you, bury you, cremate you, and eat you, it will turn you into a brand new person, which we all hope is for the better. So then, in terms of being resilient, where am I going to take this? Where are you going to take your journey? Are we going to stop now out of fear? Are we going to say, hey, I done that, I worked really hard, now that's as far as I'm prepared to go? I don't want to do that. It would be a lie for me to say, hey, I'm not scared of what I'm about to do. But if I look back in my life, that's something I've been doing since I was a kid, like going halfway or only just scratching the surface, because you know that really long speech, and I know I'm about to get hate mail because I can't quote, but your deepest fear is not that you're inadequate. I used to laugh at that, but now I realize that's the truth. I know that I am able to run. Why? I've done the training, I've run a race. I can run. I'm not the best, I'm not the fastest, but I can run. So it's not that I can't run. So what's stopping me? I'm stopping me. Fear's gonna try and get in my face. Fear is rude. Let me tell you about church service today. Now, while I always say in these videos, I'm not going to force my beliefs on you, I am going to force my lessons on you, because they're lessons that can be applied from a Muslim to an atheist, so you can make it stretch. Keyword stretch. Today, Pastor was talking about being an athlete and being stretched, being put into a new position. Now, if you're anything like me and you ain't been to yoga for 6 weeks, so you're forgetting how to touch your toes, I'm not saying that's what I do, I'm just using that as a thing, as an example, then you'll realize that, sorry, I'm being so crude today. You will realize that when you go back to yoga, it hurts because you're being put in a new position. You're being pulled out of your comfort zone, and that is what is about to happen. So how far are you going to allow yourself to be stretched? Understand that if you remain consistent and constant with what you're trying to achieve, soon the stretch will be nothing, and you'll have to go even further to even feel like you're working hard. And that's where I would like to be, but right now we're still in a place where it's like, are you even waking up on time to get to that yoga class so you can be stretched and therefore reach the goals that you set for yourself? That's another problem. How many goals do you have? Do we have one goal? Do we have 10? You need to cut them other 9 goals or edit them so they all become one. When the mind has too many things to focus on, we get confused. As humans, we start freaking out, we start stressing out, then our body reports that as being ill. We are stressed out. One goal. My one goal based on this journey is to be a very good runner. That's it. I'm not putting a time on that, I'm not putting numbers on that. Be a very good runner, the goal, the end, conversation over. One clear, concise goal. Now, with the Rucksack of Resilience, it becomes something that you should wear all the time. When I was talking in previous videos about setting your rocks down, put this rucksack on, because there are going to be times in our lives when we're going to be like, I don't know how to deal with this. Now, if you're me, you will pray and cry and drink holy water swiftly followed by gin. If you're you may not be into praying, you may go boxing class. I don't know what you do, but we're going to have to find a way to push ourselves into another realm, come out of our comfort zone, because it's when you step out of what you know, you achieve the things that will blow your mind. If we could all just be happy or succeed in comfort, nothing new would ever get achieved. We'd never know anything about electricity and so on and so forth, because one person was so consumed by fear, was so like, I'm not going to run this idea by people because I'm scared of what people will say. And more than that, you're scared of yourself. You're scared of waking up and being great. Sometimes I'm scared of waking up and patting myself on the back and being like, Candy, you are the shit. Sometimes I'm really scared to do that. And therefore, I'm like, hey, I'm backing out. I'm not doing this. I'm not the one. Drop me out. Because I don't want to be involved in something that my mind has then said can turn sour. It could beef me. Like, I could get so excellent that I grow another head and it starts talking to this one. Are you with me on that? But it's a case of closing down the bullshit in your mind, because what we need to understand is that we've had some things happen to us in our past which are currently affecting our present and therefore will equate to our future. And it's really horrible. Like, were you bullied? Raise your hand. Bad relationships? Raise your hand. A really unstable upbringing? Raise your hand. Like, I could go on and we'd all be raising our hands. But if every time something didn't get done, or we punked out of something because we were scared based on what happened to us in our past, then unfortunately the finish line is not in your future. You better pass the rock to one of your kids, because you are not going to make it. Therefore, bringing it back to the rucksack of resilience, that is the key. That is the key. Because no one said that this journey was going to be easy. No one said that it wasn't going to be painful. I never said that I was going to like this. I still have never really sat down and been like, I enjoy this 110%. Nothing about this makes me jump for joy yet. I have moments like getting a medal. Hey, we all know how competitive I can be. That medal was one of the most excellent things of my life thus far. Training for something, starting something and finishing it, that was a big deal for me. Cool. Putting to rest some of the demons of earlier school years, that was good. But apart from that, we need to rely on ourselves to get us through this. Although it's good to have a strong support system and to have people that are going to cheer you on when you're feeling low, if you are not resilient, if you are not in a place where you are your own best personal trainer, you'll fail. I'll fail. And there's a lot of readjustments that need to happen now. My mind needs to go from 10k to doubling that. And Lord willing that the ballot for the London Marathon come through, my mind will need to shift again. All these changes are blowing my mind. If I sat down and really thought about the things I'm taking on, I'd shut this computer down and tell everyone to go and eat a chocolate bar, because I ain't doing it. But I am. I'm fully committed to seeing this, not just to the end, but beyond the end, because if there ever came a day, the tortoise with no hair, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore, and I really doubt that. But if there ever came a day, that doesn't mean my personal journey stops. It just means that for some reason I don't want to share it with you guys anymore. And like I said, that's not really where I am. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, because resilience, you only take what you can bear. I wanted to be clear to say it like that, because I didn't want to be too heavy-handed on the religious aspect. Talking of religion, there's a term I use a lot in videos, and it's become a tag between me and my friends, and it's gone beyond that. Sorry, I love this song. Pressed. I say I'm really pressed. There's a story in the Bible, don't quote me on the Bible, because I'm just not that involved in the Bible reading. Sorry, it's not my thing. But there's a story in the Bible, and there's a garden, the Garden of Gethsemane, and when it talks about being pressed like an olive, because to create oil, those olives need to be pressed. So that's literally what I mean. I'm pressed. I'm in a situation that while whoever put me in the situation, or sometimes we walked into a fucked up situation, while that situation is determined to try and kill us, what comes out of it is olive oil. And so you take your lemons and you make lemonade, or some people take Coke and make it other things. I don't know. What are you going to do with this situation? How are you going to let it affect you? How is this journey going to change from really bad shit to really good shit? You create that. We have to start filtering what happens in here, and then understand that our mouthpiece is a very, very diligent tool in